Steve's music collection is filmed before a live studio audience.
Greetings, y'all. Welcome to another video. I am home finally. I've been more or less on the road working for almost a year and finally got home. And it was funny because I was offered a gig in Los Angeles on my drive home, and I was kind of like, nah, I need a break. I just need some time home to kind of re-energize or whatever. I was feeling a little burnt out on the last gig, so I'm not in position to be like turning gigs down. I don't want you to get the wrong impression, but after these last two gigs, I've saved up a good amount of dough in the bank, so I kind of, it was a little easier to be able to kind of pass on that gig. Although it would have been great working in Los Angeles, but what can you do? Whatever. So today we're going to go through, I go on the road. When I finally come home, there's usually a handful of things waiting for me. It's a little more than last time. Last time I think I only had about 3 or 4 packages. Now I got a handful more, but I'm going to go through these. Most of these I picked up from eBay or Discogs. So let's dive in and see what I got. First up, from Lowellville, Ohio. Lowellville, Ohio. We've got the band Gaunt and their album Yeah, Me Too. This one I picked up because another YouTube dude who shows his record collection and everything, his name is Mad for Vinyl. Definitely check out his videos. He's got a lot of good ones, but by the time this video posts, it'll be months later. But I was watching one of his videos and he'd gone to like a garage sale or something like that and picked up this whole lot of awesome vinyl records. And one of them was this band, and he was talking about them. It sounded interesting. And I think he even maybe played like a little sound bite of 1 or 2 songs. And it sounded like something I would kind of be into. And I exchanged like 1 or 2 little things with him just about the, he really kind of talked highly of this band. So I decided to look up to see if I could find their CD, and I did, and grabbed it. So I'm really interested in this one and looking forward to picking it up. It's kind of cool. On this you could see, I don't remember what I paid for this, but there's an old, people sometimes are kind of into this, there's an old price tag from a record store called Toxic Ranch. If anybody out there is familiar with the record store Toxic Ranch, I don't know, maybe it was in Ohio, but it's always kind of like a little interesting little peek into history, right? I guess something like that. I don't know, but yeah, looking forward to this. If you're familiar with them, like I said, he talked them up and he talked very highly of this record, so I'm looking forward to it. But if you're familiar with them, let me know. Next up, we've got this one coming from Los Alamitos, California. Okay, this one's in a nice little plastic thing. I just bought a whole bunch of these little plastic things to put my digipacks in. Thought that might be kind of an interesting way to go. But we've got here, who cares about that, Steve? We've got here the Beach Boulevard compilation released by Posh Boy Records. This is from this CD is from 1990, but I imagine this originally came out on vinyl probably in 1980 or something like that. Had read about this compilation. It's got tracks on here by F Word, Rick L. Rick, The Simple Tones, and The Crowd. Posh Boy, obviously I'm familiar with because they released all the early Agent Orange stuff, who I'm one of my favorite bands. I don't know, I read about this compilation somewhere, some kind of liner notes, so I'll get to read about it even more right here. It just sounded like it'd be cool. I think I must have listened to like 1 or 2 tracks from this. I'm not familiar with these bands at all. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of these bands, but I know that I kind of like listened to one or two songs from this before I picked it up, because this usually can be a little expensive on CD. And so I'd kind of been on the lookout for it, and finally found one in good condition, and for a price I was willing to pay. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm guessing it was probably, you know, maybe like 17 or 18 bucks, I think, right around there probably. But yeah, really looking forward to checking this one out if you're familiar with it. I hope I don't keep saying this through the whole video, but yeah, let me know if you're familiar with this or any of these bands. That'd be kind of cool. Next up, International package. This one is coming from Maple Ridge, BC, British Columbia. All right, we've got the Raveons and Whip It On. Like the Raveons quite a bit. It's always kind of cool when people pack their CDs and they put this little, like a little piece of bubble wrap in here, I guess, to prevent the CD. It's nice that they go that extra mile, right? But anyways, the Raveons, really cool band, kind of, you know, alternative, kind of got a little bit of a, like Velvet Underground kind of sound to them, or Television maybe, or something like that. I don't want to rip the booklet here. But been a fan of them for a long time, seen them live. I made a video of all my Raveons CDs. I'll put a link below if you want to check that out. And now I'm going to have to redo it because I've got another one to add. Oh my God, wait till you see these liner notes. This is going to take a while to go through these, you know, but whatever. So cool band. I really like them. This record I've kind of had on my list to pick up because I've got, there's maybe two of their CDs I don't have, but I recently, after I made that video, I was like, I got to start maybe filling in some gaps in my collection. So that's when I kind of, you know, started looking out for this one. But yeah, good band. Really like them. I don't think I know any of these songs on here. Maybe Attack of the Ghost Riders. I have a weird feeling I've heard that one before, but otherwise I'm not that familiar, so it'll be fun to listen to this one. From Covington, Georgia, this one is coming from. We've got the and their album Soul Mining. I've been familiar with but never really owned anything. I think my brother had one of their cassettes back in the day. But I just wasn't that familiar with them. And then I remember a few years ago listening to a couple of tracks of theirs, like checking them out to see, like, maybe should I check into this band? Should I maybe, you know, dig into them a little bit? Because I know a lot of people whose music taste I respect like them. And I listened to a couple tracks from a different album. I wasn't that crazy about it. And then this one, I think I heard a song from, and I finally was like, you know what, if I find that, I'm gonna pick it up. And I've been looking for this for a while. Like every record store I go into, I always check for this, and just have never come across it. Find some other stuff by them, but for some reason I was kind of intent on getting this one, and just have not had any luck. And then finally I just said, let me see, you know, what it's going for on eBay or Discogs or whatever, and found somebody selling this, and it's in good condition. And again, I don't remember what I paid for it. Probably not a lot, but I finally decided to grab it. So yeah, this one I'm kind of going in a little blind with, although like I said, I know there's one song on here that I did hear. I'm sure when I hear it, I'll remember. But yeah, if you're familiar with this album, let me know what tracks you would like on this. I said I wasn't going to keep saying that, and I just did again. Next up, we've got, coming from Valencia, California. That's a big package to be sending a CD in, huh? They put it in a, like a almost like a VHS box you would put it in. Nice that they did that. Certainly going to arrive in good condition. All right, we've got The Faction, their CD collection, 1982 to 1985. Punk band that includes the skateboarder, Steve Caballero, plays bass and I guess some guitar on a couple of things. Steve Caballero, I'm very familiar with. You know, I was skateboarding back in the 80s, and, you know, I used to read like Thrasher magazine and Transworld magazine, and, you know, his name was mixed in with all those guys that you used to read about, like Gator, who's a murderer and is now in jail, rightfully so. But that's the board I had, Vision Gator, and I still have one. And Tony Hawk, all those guys, you know, Christian Hosoi, he was part of that whole mix that you always read his name in there. And I wasn't familiar that he was in a band. Doesn't surprise me, but I didn't know of this band. And I don't know, just not too long ago, I had heard about this band. Somebody mentioned them, and I don't know, I wonder, could it have been my bud Sean Spins, who does these videos as well? I feel like it wouldn't surprise me if he's mentioned this band, and that's how I kind of discovered them. I'm not sure, but I just kind of been on the lookout for this, and I think they recently re-released this on vinyl, but I was looking for it more on CD, and it was a little tricky to find for a reasonable price. And I finally, I don't even remember if I quote unquote got this for a reasonable price, but I finally just said I'm ready to buy it for whatever I find it for, as long as it's in decent condition. So here we go. We'll check this out, and hopefully it's really good. Looking forward to it. Coming to us from Shepherdsville, Kentucky. We've got the Yeah, Show Your Bones. Now, I have a video. I'm a big fan of the Yeah. I have a video with all my CDs from the Yeah. Show Your Bones is my favorite record of theirs. And you might be saying to yourself, Steve, don't you own that already? And the answer is yes. Yes, I do own this already. So why would I buy it? Well, this has one bonus track on it called Deja Vu. And just recently I found out about that and decided to pick this up. And I don't know why. When I do things like this, it seems kind of silly. Like, I bought this for this one track, you know. I don't know, just one of those things. At the moment, you know, like I said, I've been on the road for almost a year working, making pretty good money. Sometimes when that happens, you kind of feel a little looser with your wallet, and you're like, screw it, I'm gonna buy that. So that's probably the thought process behind that. So I picked it up. This is a great record. I love it. You know, so, and I'm not familiar with this bonus track. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on YouTube somewhere. I probably could have just looked it up and listened to it, but I didn't, and I'm not familiar with this at all. I'm familiar with a lot of their, like, kind of B-sides and rarities and stuff. I have a lot of them, but not this one. So it should be interesting to check it out. Check it out! And finally, coming from Montgomery, Illinois. Check this out. This is the second time I've gotten a CD in the mail in one of these. It's like this big plastic thing with just this one little tray to put a CD in. It's so crazy, you know. And the last time I got one of these, I couldn't believe this even existed, or somebody would go to the trouble of doing this. I mean, it's commendable that they do, but it's so crazy, you know. But hey, that's great. Nice of them to do that. This is Titus Andronicus and their album Local Business. This little receipt in there. Great band, New Jersey band, local guys from up north, I believe. Kind of punk, you know, alternative rock. I have like 2 CDs by them, I believe, and just saw them live right before I left to go to South Carolina to work. Saw them at Asbury Lanes in Asbury Park, and the show was phenomenal. First time I'd ever seen them live. It's funny, I've been trying to see them live for like a couple of years now, and every time I buy tickets, I end up getting a gig out of town, and I can't go, and I got to get rid of the tickets. So I finally was able to be in town for when they were playing, and the show was great. And it made me put this, like, I went home and I was like, what CDs by them do I not have? Let me put them all on my, like, want list. And so I've been looking for this one, or looking for a couple of the other ones I don't have, and Just finally decided to pick something out by them. Found this, I think, on eBay and just grabbed it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, listening to this one, and wondering if there's any of these songs, you know, I am recognized from seeing them at that live show a little while ago. So yeah, really, really good punk band. Should check them out. And that's it. I guess there's no more mail. That's all the packages I got. No, but I got a lot of stuff to listen to here, plus all the stuff I brought home from South Carolina, a lot of which I've already listened to, though. But thanks for tuning in, as always. Let me know if you're familiar with any of these records, which I said I wouldn't say again, but I just did. But I got to wrap it up like that, right? And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you the next time.